Welcome back to Rolling History. In this episode, we're going to put all the springs back on the car, the axles, and if we get far enough, we'll put the engine back in the car. I'm still waiting for a few things inside the front of the motor that I don't have, so I'm hoping that putting it in without having those pieces is not going to make me have to take it out and do it again. But anyways, I know it's been a while since I made a video. Things just keep getting in the way. It's not that I'm not thinking about it, it's just I can't set aside the time to work on it. But I did get a couple days in the last week or so, and I did some work on it, and you'll see it's starting to look more like a car instead of just a box full of parts. So, oh, and also, you're going to notice at the intro, there's something different. We have a new sponsor, somewhat, the Hillbilly Flannel Company, and that's a company that I became involved in, and so we're going to advertise here. If you don't want to watch it, just fast forward through it. It's only a couple seconds, so I think by the time you find the button, you'll already be past it. But anyways, we have some very cool flannel shirts. If you don't like flannels, there's some t-shirts on there. And so go take a look. And if that's something you're interested in, by all means, go to the website and buy one. It'll help in one way or another. So anyways, let's go work on the Dodge. So the last few days I've been working on the frame and all the pieces of the running gear, just getting all of the old loose rust and dirt off, and then I mostly clear coated it. On the inside of the rails, on the inside of the rails I painted them all black, just flat black, and then where it's not going to be seen, same thing. So you can tell back here where it kind of changes. Maybe you can't, but back here on these gas tank supports, that's just the rust kind of clear coated over. It actually looks kind of cool, but that's what I've been working on. I'm still waiting for a couple things on the motor, the inside front cover. I'm missing a couple things, so I decided to put this together today, or the last few days. So right now we're just going to put the front end back on the car, and then maybe we'll put the rear end back in the car, because all that stuff's rebuilt, and we'll see where we go from there. Maybe we'll put the engine in without the front end all put together, the front end of the engine. Maybe not. It depends on what kind of timing it is and when I get those parts. They're supposed to be here any day. So for right now, we're going to put the front end together, put the springs back on, and start assembling the car. So basically, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get the springs put back on the car. I did get some new, I don't know what you call them. They're these bolts, special bolts. I got them from Myers, and let's see, they're pretty special. I wouldn't have been able to find them anywhere but Myers. I'm pretty sure this is the Dodge way of doing things. So I got some new ones of these, and you know, the old ones were just regular bolts. There was nothing to them. So I'm just going to put some grease on them and put them all on. So yesterday I was able to get the front axle on the car, or on the frame, and the only problem I have is that the castle nuts are a little too big, so they don't get all the way back far enough to where I can put the cotter pins in. So rather than fight that, I'm just going to get some modern castle nuts tomorrow and put those in so I can use the pins. They're a little shorter. But for today, I have all of the stuff ready here to put the rear axle back in the car. I mean, if you've been watching, you know the rear axle's all rebuilt. So we're going to put all that in, and also I need to put the brakes all back together and put all the linkages back together. So that's what I'm going to work on today. Let's see how far we can get. Hopefully we can get all that put together and have a semi rolling chassis without wheels. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put the spring back on, the leaf spring, and they should fit right because I've got new ones. Well, I've got one new one and one original one, and the original one is the same size as the new one, so they shouldn't have that same problem back here. So let's get the springs back on, and then we'll deal with trying to get the axle, or the rear axle, in. So I got the springs on, and I got the cotter pins in, and this is the one that was not right before. When I picked it up, I had the wrong one, but now I found a new one and it fits pretty good. Fits just like this one, so that problem is solved. Now let's get the rear end in there. I've been working pretty hard today trying to get everything put together here. I got the rear axle in, and I got this side, the brake shoe, on. I had to take a few times and go back and look at my video because I took it apart so fast. It was pretty tricky to remember how it went together or how it came apart. Plus that was a couple years ago, so. But I got the outer one on, or actually the inner one, and I'll get the outer one later when once I have the wheels on, or right about the same time. I'm still waiting for a seal there. I got to make a little spacer, but I'm as far as I can go there. But I have the engine here and transmission ready to go, and I'd kind of like to drop it in there today. I'd like to see it kind of go back together. Plus I'm tired of all the parts laying around, so this is my plan. I'm going to try to get this in the next hour or so before it gets dark. So let me put this up on a camera stand and give you some sort of vantage point, and we'll put it in. Okay, so I don't know what it's going to quite take, and I'll probably be stepping in and out of in front of the camera, so just bear with me. But hopefully it'll go up high enough to get over the front of the frame, and then hopefully I can get it in there. Let's find out.
So if you guys didn't notice when I put the engine in, guess what we forgot to hook up there? So I'm gonna have to take off those 8 bolts on the rear end, move it back, and then slide it back onto the universal joint. That hanging the engine from way up in the air, it just makes me nervous, so I'd rather just take off those 4 bolts and do it that way. Just, I don't know, I just don't want to hang that engine up there anymore. So anyways, that's all I'm gonna do for today, I think. No, not really. I'm gonna take those 4 bolts off and put it on, and that'll be it for the day. But for now, the motor is sitting back in the frame. The front axle is on, the rear axle is on, but it's coming off, but it's going right back on. So yeah, that's about it for now. So there you go. Okay, I got the drive shaft attached to the transmission and back hooked up to the chassis. So that's all I'm going to do today. I'm kind of tired, and I don't really have that much more I could work on, so I'm just going to cover it up, and that's going to be it for today.
All right, thanks for watching this episode of Rolling History. As you can see, the car is kind of starting to take a little bit of shape. It's nice to get everything put back on the car and not having it laying around in boxes. I was really getting tired of that. So it's nice to see it all start to get back together a little bit. I did pick up some of the parts that I was missing inside the front of the engine since I made the video, and I just got to get a little bit of time. I think I can put it all back in there, maybe the next video. So my next big item is I need to find a shop to restore the radiator, or just put a new core in it. I don't really want it restored. I don't want the honeycomb on there. I just want a down and dirty kind of modern radiator stuck in that top and bottom tank, and we'll go from there. You know, it's not a show car, so I'm not so worried about having that honeycomb, and I know the cost of making a honeycomb radiator is probably as much as the car is worth, so we're not doing that. So after I put all that stuff in the front end of the motor, the radiator and then the gas tank is going to be the next project, and we'll just keep working on it from there. We'll see where it goes. So that's where we're at, and thanks for watching this episode, and we'll see you soon.